Yo, what up? It's Triple X with MachineMasters.com. Just here with a quick little tutorial or a quick tip, if you will. Nothing long, nothing drawn out. Just something fast to add to the arsenal. I'm gonna show you how to add space to your samples. There's a couple of reasons why you'd want to do this. Some of you may or may not be familiar with this trick. Some of you may not even know really how to nudge and manipulate, where your stuff is triggering inside of your sequence. I would encourage you to learn that because it's a definitely powerful trick to know how to do. But just here's one more way to fry the fish, and I'm gonna show you real quick how to get it in. So first and foremost, if we have a sample already in here, anytime you're in sample mode, if you go to pitch and gate, you're going to see the start knob here. Some of you might know what this does, some of you might not. Clearly, it's just the start point of your sample. A little bit different from attack. This has no bearing on where the sample starts, only how much of the front of the sample you're kind of trimming off at the transient. So this is the actual start point. So for instance, if I audition the sample, stop making whack music, we can hear an entire phrase right there. And it's also a really good piece of advice, but let's focus on the tutorial. Anyway, so let's see what hitting the start knob does here. Stop making whack music. Stop making whack music. Whack music. So obviously we can use this knob to manipulate where in the sample is being triggered once we hit the pad. All right. So to apply this to some drums, for instance, I'm gonna come to this little joint that I set up already. For the sake of doing this fast, I've already dropped some notes in here. I just double clicked them into the grid, specifically to 16th note quantized, so we can keep it nice and tight. Like I want it to be just ridiculously snug inside the grid right now to kind of show you what we can do with adding space to the front of a sample. So in any case, let's listen to what we got. All right, so, really, really snug. Got a little bit of a swing on them, not much. The snare is just dead locked on the 16th, hitting on the 2 and the 4. So basically what we want to do to add space to a sample, the first thing we need to do is record some dead space. So we'll just go into record mode. I'm going to go to an empty pad. All right, come to record. Set it to internal. That way you don't record anything. Obviously, we don't want to have anything playing in Maschine when we're doing this. With it set to internal, just click start, click it again, and click it one more time to stop. So now we recorded 2.21 seconds of dead space. We really only need about, theoretically, somewhere between 20 and 100 milliseconds, and that's a lot even. But, for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to do it a little bit longer than that, and we're going to trim about a second of space. So what you want to do is take that start point like I did and bring it from the beginning to about 1 second in. We're not going to truncate this or anything. We're just going to leave this like this for right now. And we're going to come in and get this snare and copy it. And we're going to come back to this dead space and we're going to paste it in. And what's going to happen is the snare is going to paste in right here, and we're going to still have this space behind from 1 second down to 0. So paste. Now there's our snare. We're still at 1 second. And now we'll bring this start point back, and we've got all this dead space here right now. So when we trigger this, that's a load of space, way more than I would ever do. But just for the sake of the tutorial, I'll show you how you can still manipulate it with that. All right, we're also going to turn the ADSR back to 1 shot just to make it easy. So now let's see what this sounds like in the sequence. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be way off time. Hugely off time. All right, now let's use start to see what we get out of it. All right, so now we're right back where we left off. Now, in addition to using space and start, we can also adjust the start point here and see what we get. So when I start bringing this forward, the snares are going to start being a lot more early. We're also going to notice the front of it, the front of the transient getting clipped off because of where we have the start knob set. So it might be a good idea to bring this back some and then listen and adjust the start point. Now you might ask yourself, what is the point of this? I could just nudge my notes. And with nudge, of course, you can go forward and back. So you might say, well, why does this matter? Well, it doesn't. It's just an additional trick to add to your arsenal. You can nudge, you can use space. It's kind of knowing when to use either or and what benefit it has for you. That's where this guy down here comes into play. So let's say we add a clap to the scenario. Let's see what we have right now. So now I'm going to start manipulating start to see how it blends with this clap. So this is kind of a cool way to stack drums. Now, granted, I would never use this much space, and that's why I have so much leeway in this knob right here. And no matter how you do this, at some point you're going to bump into the start, the actual transient of the sample, depending on how much space you put. If you put a real small amount of space, the knob's going to be more down here. If you put a large amount of space, it's going to be higher up. But the idea is when you start stacking stuff, rather than having to sit here on the screen with these guys, turn off your quantize and start, zoom in and manually trying to nudge this and get it perfect. It's also an option for you. You could do that and couple it with this feature right here to get it exactly how you want, like to a millisecond, without being in a full-fledged DAW that deals with audio to where you can actually see the milliseconds on the screen, zoom in real far, line them up. So, once again, it's just a quick trick. I hope you, got something out of that, and we'll be back with some more tips. MachineMasters.com's Triple X signing off. Thanks for watching, and please comment, rate, subscribe, and all that junk. All right, peace.